welcome to Lauren Reed Color. Thanks for joining me for another fun, I hope, Saturday Snippets. Today we're going to be continuing our page in Meine, Reise, durch Afrika by Rita Berman. The page that we are working on is the Crocodile on the Sandbank page. I'm thinking that we might be able to finish this page next week. I don't think we'll be able to do that this week, but probably next week. And I'm going to start thinking about what page to color next. I was hoping to perhaps do a page in one of my project books. So I think I will put a poll up on the channel and with a list of all of my project books, and everyone can vote on the one that they are most interested in. And then I will choose a page from one of those books. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. But before then, let me just show you the pencils that we're going to be using today, because we're going to start with the crocodiles. Instead of showing you all of those, let me just show you the swatch page that I've got here. So these are all our swatches for the page. We're going to use some of the colors that I already have, but I have organized them in a swatch for the crocodile section. So we're going to use pale yellow, which is cream in Prismacolor, light ochre, which is sand in Prismacolor, moss green, which is Kelly green, spruce green, which is Prussian green, mauve, which is, I think I said it was imperial violet, something like that, blue indigo, which is dioxazine purple hue, and a sepia, which is also sepia in Prismacolor. So those will be the pencils that we're using today, but we might put in touches of other colors as well. I'll see as I'm going along. I want the crocodiles to sort of reflect some of the other colors that we have on the page already. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. But before all that, let me show you what I've been working on this week. To begin with, I finished my page in Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. This was a whip that was going for most of the month. I think I started it early on in May. This is the page that I completed, the one that I'm calling Lady Octopus, and I'm really, really happy with the way it came out. I had a moment there where I was concerned about the background, but overall, I'm pleased with the texture that I got to sort of mimic flowing water. I'm not sure it comes across as well on the camera. This is the color palette that I used. It's from Sarah Renee Clark's Color Cubes, and I put it down on all of the elements on the page. I'm again quite impressed with myself on how I managed to do all that. There are some places where I think that the colors don't necessarily pop as well as they could have. For example, I'm not sure my fish are prominent enough, but on the other hand, I didn't want them overshadowing her face, so maybe it is okay. I colored this as a buddy color with Ellie from Ellie Colors and Designs, and I must say I am totally speechless at the absolute beauty of her page. The face is just out of this world, and I will of course show it to you in my completed pages video, but if you want to have a sneak peek, you can go to my Instagram post and swipe to see it. I also colored this for a new group on Instagram that I've joined. It's dedicated to Hannah Carlson's books, which is fabulous because I want to color more in Daydreams. Every month I choose 3 pages, I think, 2 single-sided pages, and then 1 double page spread. This was the double page spread for May, and I'm debating between the double page spread for June or one of the single pages. I'm probably going to do the single page. I think I have it in my Hannah Carlson Coloring Heaven magazine book, because I don't think I have the original book that it's in. So I will have to see. If I don't, then I will definitely do the double page spread, because I do have that book. Anyway, yeah, so this was my page in Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. The rest of the pages that I worked on this week are all ongoing whips. The first one is in Mythographic Dragonspell by Joseph Katzenbang. I'm coloring this book with a group on Instagram, and the page for May is the Dragon Eye page. I started coloring this page on my unpopular opinions video. So if you want to see how I started shading the scales, you can check that video out and also listen to my opinions, whether they are popular or not. And since then, I've been working on some of the other elements. So I finished shading the scales, and then I finished the the pond. Now, I sort of wanted it to look like a dragon eye, so it's darker around the edges and then lighter in the middle to sort of simulate a dragon's eye. And then I'm assuming that this boat is supposed to be the pupil. So it's going to be like a dark sepia brown. And I'm hoping that once that is in, it will look more like a dragon eye. But even if it doesn't, that's okay. It still looks like a fish pond. So I'm coloring this using Castle Arts pencils and the occasional Black Widow Monarch pencil. I'm really enjoying coloring this, and it should actually be finished this weekend, so that'll be nice. And that is my page in Mythographic Dragonspell. Another whip that I worked on this week is in Country Kitchen Charm by Teresa Goodrich, and the page that I'm working on is this Cozy Nook page. Basically, I want to finish all of the wood. I'm sort of in a wood zone for this page, so I'm going to continue coloring the wood floor, the wood on the chair and the legs of the table, and I think also the wood in the fireplace. And then I'm going to move on to the other elements. The color scheme I have in mind for this page is blues and pinks and maybe some pastel greens. We will see how it turns out once it's done. But I'm really pleased with the way it's going so far, and I like the color combinations that I've used for the wood. So the wood on the roof, the window, and the wall and the benches is all the same combination. And then the picture frame is a different wood combination, which I'll also be using on the inserts for the benches, the chair and the table. So I think that will really create a nice look of two different types of wood on the page. Yeah, so that's my plan for this page. Country Kitchen Charm by Teresa Goodrich. I also started a page in Fairy Celebrations by Klara Markova. The page that I'm working on has a seahorse, and so it works for the Wild Year of Color 26 hashtag, hosted by Jamie at Finding Joy in Color, as May's prompt is a seahorse. And the page that I'm working on is this little seahorse and oyster shell on the side. The reason I chose this one rather than one of the more detailed and larger pages is because there's no way I can finish such a detailed page in the short few days that are left to the month, but I will be able to finish this little vignette, and I do think that this little seahorse is adorable. I found an inspiration image on Pinterest. It's over here, and I'm using the color scheme from this inspiration image on my seahorse. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he turns out. So that is my page in Fairy Celebrations by Klara Markova. And one final whip is in Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. I was just in a whip mood one day this week and decided to get started on this book. I've sort of decided that I want to color this more like small victory style images. So I'm not going to color an entire page per month per se. Rather, I think I'm going to color in this book a little bit at a time. And we will see how that works for me. So I decided I'm going to start at the beginning, and I'm going to start with these keys and make them metallic. So far I've colored one whole key and two partial keys. So I will work slowly but surely through this page of this book and get some of it done. The book is a little bit intimidating, and that is why I've decided to go with this approach. There are tiny, tiny details, and I am sure if I decide to just sit down and do a whole page, I am going to get burnt out very quickly. So I would much prefer to just, color a little bit at a time. Maybe color one little thing every day, and in that way get through the book, because I'm not sure I'll be able to color an entire page in one sitting. There might be a couple of pages that I could do, like for example maybe this one. I could take a week and do it, but I'm thinking that if I do a little bit at a time, I might actually be able to work my way through this book. It is a beautiful book. The paper is just amazing. Listen to that amazing paper. So it will definitely take water mediums. Oh, I love this page. It's my favorite. Anyway, never mind. That's a page that I started in Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. And now we are going to move on to our crocodile on the sandbank and start coloring some crocodiles. Today we're going to begin with shading the rest of the background, and for that I'm going to be using gentian blue and blue indigo, okay? And we're also going to put in the white jelly roll for the waves on the water, and I think I'm actually going to start with that so that I can work my way down, and then by the time I want to shade the bottom here, the waves will be dry, because otherwise I will end up smudging and we will have gel pen all over the place. So let's do that. All right, I'm just going to spin my page a bit so that we can get a good angle. All right, and yeah, I think we will start over here. So I'm basically just putting the gel pen over the lines that Rita has given us. I'm hoping that this will work out. Sometimes gel pens can be a little bit finicky. Yeah, that looks okay. Sometimes also I put in the gel pen, I wait for it to dry, and then I go back and I put another coat. So just a second. Right, so welcome everybody. I hope that you have had a good week. My week was relatively quiet. Yesterday was Shavuot, which is a holiday here. It's both a religious and a secular holiday. It celebrates in Judaism the giving of the Bible on Mount Sinai. Yes, so after Exodus, Moses, yes, arrived at Mount Sinai, and he went up the mountain and received the 10 Commandments. So it commemorates that, but it also commemorates the harvest, the end of the spring harvest and the beginning of the summer harvest. And it's actually my favorite holiday because it has the best food. Yeah, some there's always food associated with holidays. So, there are some nice ones. Like, for example, Hanukkah, we eat donuts and latkes, which are fun, but they are so unhealthy. Very fattening. Everything with oil. And Passover has the worst food. Matzah is definitely not good for the stomach. So Shavuot, which is the festival of the harvest, we get to eat really good food. Everything's dairy. So cheesecake and blintzes and bagels.
Oh, I want blintzes.
Yes, and here comes the assistant. We didn't get bagels, but we did get cheesecake.
We got cheesecake.
We do. We have cheesecake.
But no blintzes.
But no blintzes. I'm not making blintzes. They're hard work. But we do have the required cheesecake. You cannot have the holiday without cheesecake.
But I didn't make cheesecake.
No, you didn't make cheesecake. Karen makes lovely cheesecake, but this time it's a bought one. I mean, it's a really nice one, but it is from the bakery. Okay, I think that's okay. I think we're gonna stop and do the shading, and then we will come back because I do not want to smudge my gel pen. Okay, so let's start with the shading here on the bottom. Let's move on to shading the background. All right, so I'm taking the gentian blue and I'm just going to go around these sections, and I'm leaving these squiggles, for want of a better word to describe them. All right, I'm leaving those white, and we're also going to go over them with the gel pen. All right. Oh, we might also need the aqua blue to blend this out. Yeah, so as I was saying, it was a holiday and good food. And so it was also a quiet work week. We're approaching the end of the semester, so the students are working on their presentations and their writing because they're going to have to be graded. So yeah, relatively quiet. What else did I do this week? So I started a new book. I think I spoke a little bit about it last time. I'm reading book number 20, it turns out. Book number 20 in the Sebastian St. Cyr series by C.S. Harris. It's called Who Will Remember? And yeah, it's gotten off to a good start. I like this series. It's a historical mystery, and it always starts off with a murder, like really early on in the book. There's no procrastinating. It always starts off with a bang, so to speak. This time it's a hanging. It's not a shooting. And so this series really portrays the realistic side of Regency England, and no sugarcoating. So sometimes with historical romances, for example, you get only the positive aspects, or because it's a romance, the focus is on love relationships, and if there's any angst, then it's internal to the couples. But historical mysteries are a little bit more realistic in terms of depicting the time period. Not always. So, for example, the Lady Harley series is not as realistic, but this one, the Sebastian St. Cyr series, is far more critical and realistic, and C.S. Harris does amazing research. Yeah, so I enjoy it. It's a good series, good writing. Yeah, so that's what I'm reading. And I also started listening to an audiobook as well. So for that, I am listening to, I think it's called All the Pretty Girls. Is it called All the Pretty Girls? I will make sure. I will look it up, because I think there's another book by Jonathan Nassau called All the Pretty Girls, and I might be getting confused. But I haven't read that book for ages. That one's about a serial killer. I haven't gotten as far into this book yet. I have only listened to the prologue and to the first chapter. But so far, so good. The thing about Karen Slaughter, it's written by Karen Slaughter. So she does the Will Trent series. So if you've ever seen the TV show Will Trent, it's based on a series of the same name by Karen Slaughter. Only the show is not nearly as dark as the books. The books are really dark. Karen Slaughter is not for the faint of heart. She can get pretty gruesome, her books. She also wrote the Andrea. Oh, the name of the heroine is Andrea. I can't remember her last name right now. Pieces of Her is the first book, and it was made into a show as well with Toni Collette, who I am like all over the place right now with all of the things that I've done this week, because I also watched The Staircase, which was with Toni Collette. Oh, brilliant. I will talk about that in a little while. Anyway, let me go back to All the Pretty Girls and Karen Slaughter. So she's the author. So she wrote the Will Trent series, which is also a spin-off. The Will Trent series is a spin-off of the Grant County series. It didn't start off as a spin-off. It developed into a spin-off. So it started out, the first book is not, I think the first and second books are not connected to the Grant County series, but from the third book it is. Like, one of the characters from the Grant County series is in the Will Trent series. So they sort of merge together. Also, not a series for the faint of heart, especially the first book. The first book has a couple of scenes in it that are really disturbing. Yeah, so, but if you like that kind of stuff, they're thrillers, then yeah, highly recommend it. Okay, we're going to blend that color out, and for that I need the blue bluish pale, which if you're doing Prismacolor, it is sky blue light. Yeah, so that's what I was listening to and reading. And as I said, I was watching The Staircase, which is with Colin Firth and Toni Collette. Really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's one of those, it's a true crime based on the story of Kathleen and Michael Peterson. And Colin Firth is such an amazing actor. He's really great. And this role was so outside of his usual, his usual type of, he's, to everyone, he's Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. He's my favorite Mr. Darcy. And of course, he's Mark Darcy in Bridget Jones. So in both of those, it's sort of like a comedic role. But also, he comes off in both of those works, he comes off as really arrogant, which is, to be expected because, Mr. Darcy is really arrogant in the books. And that arrogance is in The Staircase as well. But the type of character that he portrays is so different. And I think it's because he's portraying someone real, an actual person. Rather than a fictitious character. So, but he was really good in it. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was really interesting. And I don't want to give anything away if you ever decide to watch it. It's on HBO Max. But I went afterwards and I looked up the case. So it was interesting to see, the news reports about it and all that. But I'm still not made up my mind about guilt or innocence. I do, however, think that the prosecution didn't really prove their case one way or the other. So, to my mind, while the guilt or innocence is unclear, even now, as far as I understand it, the American justice system is if the prosecution can't prove their case, then you have to, beyond a reasonable doubt, then you have to acquit. And I don't think the prosecution proved their case. There was a lot of reasonable doubt. There was oodles and oodles of it. Just because someone's unlikable doesn't mean they're guilty. Oh, I like that. I like that sort of waterfall look we've gotten there. Okay, I'm just extending this out a bit here. And I think we will take the dark indigo and deepen up shadows. Is it dark? Dark indigo has sort of a purple tint. Don't I have one that didn't have a purple tint? Hold on one second. I'm just looking through my pencils. That was not the color we used. Oh, night blue. Sorry, not indigo blue. Night blue is the color we used last time. Yeah. I definitely don't want to put purple here. So, even though we could put some purple. But not the indigo blue purple. I'm just deepening up my shadows around these squiggle things. Squiggle, I'm not sure that's a word. Yeah, so I enjoyed that a lot. And what else did I do? We started a new puzzle. We finished the puzzle that we were working on. It was a random cut puzzle, that puzzle. And so it took us a few days. It took us about a week, off and on, the assistant and I, to do that puzzle. But we enjoyed it a lot. And now we have started a new puzzle. And this one is an escape room puzzle. So basically, you're given clues and hints, and you have to build the puzzle and then answer a question based on the puzzle. And we've done, it's got 6 sections. Like you have to escape one. The puzzle is the room, right? You put the puzzle together and it creates a room. And in the room that is created, there are clues. And you have to solve the clues to get out of this room. And you do that by taking the puzzles and creating the code for the next room. And the next room is marked with the answer. Like the answer to the one room is printed on the top of the box of the next room. So then you have to open the next room that's in the box, do the puzzle, solve the clues, and move on. So that's how it works. And wow, the detail that is put into this puzzle is quite something, because you have to read, you have to solve the puzzle, you have to take the clues. No, I don't like that. 1 second. You have to read the mystery. You have to solve the puzzle. You have to get the clues from the puzzle, put them together, decode the symbol for the next room. So, wow, it is quite a lot of work to do. And it's fun. We're having a good time. So we've done 1 room so far. And we've put the puzzle together for the second room. But we haven't started, looking for the clues because we got tired. There's a lot of math involved, and I don't do math. I do not math. I always tell my students, make sure I haven't calculated your grade incorrectly, because I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher. So they always know that they have to check my calculations. Poor guys. So there's some math involved, and that was tiring. So we took a break after putting together the second room, and we will continue working on it today. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's really good quality and well thought out and entertaining. So I like that. I'm just looking back at this page. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's what we did this week. What else did I do this week? Nothing really. It was quiet. So yesterday, one of my neighbors, most of my neighbors know that Toby left us. But one of my neighbors came up to me yesterday. I think she's been away. And she says, "Where's Toby?" Oh, that set me off. By the end of this conversation, both she and I were crying. Anyway, because she hadn't seen him, and she was... But, I've been speaking to other neighbors. They've all more or less realized that he's gone. And so a lot of the kids in the neighborhood, they grew up with Toby. They remember him from when they were little, and he was a puppy. And so some of the other neighbors, we were talking, and their dog was a friend of Toby's. His name is Star. And they were telling me Star's getting older too. They're preparing themselves. And they told me that they had realized at some point, that Toby was also going to go. And, but, he lived for 17 and a half years. It's a good long life. I'm getting to the point when I can talk about him. I couldn't at first. It was hard. Slowly but surely. Yeah. So what else happened this week? So I saw some interesting things on Threads. Okay, let's. I think that's enough for this background. I think I'm going to leave the gel pen until after we've done this crocodile, because if I put the gel pen in, I will definitely smudge it. So I think we're going to actually start with this crocodile. So let me get my combination for the crocodile, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the combo that I'm going to be working with. We have pale yellow, we have light ochre, moss green, spruce green, and sepia. So those are the colors that I'm going to start with. And of course, we are starting with the lightest color, which is pale yellow. And I'm zoomed in, but I do think that I'm going to just spin this around a little bit. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to put a light layer of this over the entire crocodile. And I think we're going to have the highlight at the top because the moon is shining down. So let's just move this down. If we see the moon is shining down on the top of the crocodile. So our highlights are going to be on the top. And then later I might put touches of other colors in. But for now, we're just going to do this. Okay, now I'm also leaving a white space around the crocodile's eye. Okay. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, so I saw some interesting things on Threads. But before I talk about that, I will just say that I was also watching another show. I finished watching all of the episodes of People Magazine Investigates that are available on HBO Max. Okay, light ochre. Then I started looking for something else to watch. So I watched The Staircase. And then after The Staircase, I needed something else to watch. So I was looking through, I'm on Reddit. And on Reddit, I belong to the Investigation Discovery subreddit. And, I go and I look at the recommendations that they suggest. And they suggested Evil Lives Here, because I'm on a true crime kick right now. So I started watching Evil Lives Here, and I didn't really like the format. So the format of Evil Lives Here is that you've got these testimonials by family members of people who've committed crimes, and while it's very interesting to have their perspective, I prefer investigative style shows where, you don't necessarily know who the killer is, and the police come and investigate. I tend to gravitate more towards those. I might go back. So I watched like 4 episodes of Evil Lives Here, and I decided I didn't like the format. So I went back to the Reddit. Okay, we're moving on to our next color, which is moss green. So I went back to the Reddit and I looked for more recommendations. And the next one that was recommended was American Monster. So I started watching that one. And it's not exactly like an investigation. You do get the family's perspectives, but there's a lot more involvement of the police in the show. So I'm liking it better. And the interesting thing is that I was watching an episode of American Monster, and they were talking about a crime. I can't remember what it was, but in the show, they say that the crime did not get that much attention from the police because at the same time as this crime occurred, there was a cat, and it was stuck on an electricity pole, and the news was covering the story of this cat. And to be perfectly honest, I was more interested in the story of the cat too. I don't know what that says about me, but I had to go and find out what happened to this cat. Turns out the cat was just fine, but I found it very interesting because I looked up what happened to the cat. I put in all the details into Google, and up came a YouTube video about the cat. So I had to stop, the episode of American Monster to go and find out what happened to the cat. And then I saw what happened to the cat, and I was reading the comments of the people on the YouTube video, and they were all saying they were watching this episode of American Monster and had to find out what happened to the cat. So I was not alone in my concern. And if you are worried, yes, he came down all by himself. Turns out he didn't need to be rescued. Anyway, so I thought that was funny. And then I went back to watching the show. Yeah, so it always amazes me what people do to each other. It's too terrible, really. I worry about the human race. Speaking about worrying about the human race. So yeah, I was on Threads, and people just do they do and say the most ridiculous things. So there was a lady, we're moving on to Spruce Green. And when I say lady, I think she's like 22, so girl. And she had posted on Threads that she had rhinoplasty, she had a nose job. So, and when she was asked why she had this nose job, she said, because I don't want my children to inherit my nose. Oh, I despair. I despair over what they are teaching people in school. How can she not understand? I mean, she's 22, right? So she's been to high school, right? So I'm sure she took some sort of class in biology, and they, I hope, taught about genetics. So I don't know. I don't know how she can think that having a nose job will mean that her children will inherit her new nose and not her old nose. Oh. This is why I say I despair about the human race. I think we are raising, not everyone, right? I'm sure that there are perfectly intelligent teenagers out there. We're just not encountering them. We're encountering the ones who really don't know what they're talking about. But I'm concerned that we're raising a generation of people who don't think critically. So they, another thing that I saw, this one wasn't on Threads. This one, no, I think it might have been on Threads. This one, okay, I'm going back in with the pale yellow just to blend. Now, I'm not going to blend the darkest green, okay? I'm just going to blend the lighter greens, right? So another thing that I saw on education Threads was, obviously Threads knows I'm a teacher somehow, because that's what it suggests to me. I do want to put in some more of this spruce. No, it's moss. Moss, just here, to make the nose look a bit longer. So there was an article about a school in Australia, or they're a chain of schools, they're Catholic schools, and they have decided to ban laptops. So they did an experiment for year 7, seventh grade, and classes are not conducted, classes are not conducted any longer with laptops. They have to bring paper and pencils and textbooks and all that kind of stuff, and they have to learn that way. So they were interviewing the kids, who said that at first they didn't like it because their hands hurt from writing, but over time they started to appreciate it more. And they feel that they're learning better. And all of this came about because the PISA scores are the international standardized testing scores, were getting lower and lower each year. And they were concerned about this. And they did the PISA scores in this group for 2025, and the scores were higher. And so they are now going to expand this experiment to year 8, which is, 8th grade. So I found that really interesting, because I definitely feel that the level of education is dropping, is deteriorating. I don't know. First of all, there are studies that show that typing on a laptop, you do not get the memory retention at the same level as if you write by hand. So all of this, writing on computers, typing, on laptops, kids are not learning anything, or they're not retaining information. I want to do some of these circles. Let's, do I want to do an experiment? I do. I'm going to take my eraser and I am just going to erase the yellow around some of these circles because I want to put in some purple. Okay. And if you mix yellow and purple, you're going to get mud because these are opposite colors on the color wheel. So if you mix them together, you get mud. So I'm just erasing some of that yellow. Okay. Let's put in some of the purple. On our crocodile. So as I said, studies have shown that, memory retention is much poorer with using laptops. Okay, here, just a tad of this purple on some of these circles that our crocodile has. What color am I going to make his eye? Okay, and now I just want to go back in with my yellow and just go around the circles. I think I might also come in with a gel pen and put some gel pen on this crocodile. Embellishments will come at the end. And let's just put in that yellow again. So I thought that was really interesting. And I hope it becomes a trend. I think having computers and phones and laptops in school is really, damaging education. Here in Israel, they've decided that already last year, they decided no phones in elementary school. And this year, in the coming school year, they're going to be extending this to high school. Okay, let's do I want to put in some sepia? Yes, I think I do. Okay, so just on the bottom and around the lily pads, just in the shadow areas, I'm going to put some sepia. And then we will blend it out with the green. This will make nice shadows on our crocodile. Oh, kids are outside playing. If you hear screaming, no one's being murdered. The kids are just outside playing. Okay. Let's zoom out and see what he looks like. And then I have to decide what to do with his eye. Right, so that's what our crocodile is looking like now. I really like him. I think, yes, he looks pretty good. I like that olivey color we've achieved for him. It goes together nicely with the lily pads and with the mask. And I think we're going to make his eye yellow. All right, so let's zoom back in and do the eye. Okay, so we're going to put the ochre bottom, and I'm leaving a highlight there in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to take the sepia and just put in the shadow around his eye, and then blend it out again with the ochre and just leave a highlight there. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, let's move on to our larger crocodile. Okay, so again, we've got our light source over here and it's going to hit the top of the crocodile. So the top part will have a highlight and the bottom will be darker. And I think I'm also going to put highlights on top of these ridges so that we get the effect of sort of like a 3D effect. Okay, we'll see if we can do that. So let's first, I'm going to start with the pale yellow and just put a light layer of this on the top of the crocodile. Again, I'm leaving a highlight under his eye. Okay. And then here on the top, we're just gonna put our yellow there. Okay. And also here. And on the top of all of these ridges. Yeah, so I saw that on Threads. What else did I see on Threads? That was interesting. Threads, aside from education, Threads also seems to know that I like true crime. Because I also get lots of true crime posts, and I saw one yesterday that was just so. It seems to be a true life version of Hansel and Gretel. So I'm just trying to get the story right in my head. According to the news, a French couple went to Portugal with their 2 children, aged 5 and 3. The mother is the children's biological mother, and the father is their stepfather. And they took them to the woods, these 2 little boys. They blindfolded them, and they left them there. And oh wow. All I can say is thank goodness that there were people around, because obviously this is not a woods where nobody goes. This is a popular walking trails and things, because a couple found them and called the police. But oh wow. What? How? I don't understand. And you know something? I'm glad I don't understand, because if I understood, then that would be bad. But how can someone do that? I mean, these tiny little kids, 5 and 3, those are babies. Anyway, the parents have been arrested. Good. I just don't understand people. Yeah, so I saw that. Okay, on to happier stories. So the zoo, where is the zoo again? I can't remember. Somewhere in Australia. A zoo has a new baby aardvark, and she is so cute. Hold on. I am going to put a picture of this baby aardvark on the screen. This is the baby aardvark. Her name is Womble. She is so cute. You should really, if you're interested in baby Womble, go and check her out. There are quite a few videos of her. So baby Womble's mother is quite young. She's a very new mother. She didn't reject her baby, but she was struggling. So the zookeepers are helping her out by bottle feeding Womble to help her mother out with her. And she is just adorable. And they said something about she's only the 2nd aardvark born in this zoo in over 90 years. It seems that they don't like to breed in captivity. So everyone is very excited about baby Womble. I'm very excited about baby Womble. Sometimes you just need a palate cleanser from all the other things that are going on in the world. And for me, that's animal videos. Anyway. What else did I see? I also saw that they are going to be making a remake of Hercule Poirot. Oh, I'm very excited. I love Agatha Christie adaptations. And Poirot is just a classic, the one with David Suchet. So when I was little, My dad, he used to like watching TV with us. And he loved Agatha Christie too. And we used to watch all of the movies, the Agatha Christie movies. This was before Poirot with David Suchet was made. Okay, I'm just going to put this color also on all of these ridges for this crocodile. Right now, I'm just placing colors down. We will be deepening up shadows and shading and all that kind of stuff, I think, in the next video. Right now, I'm just layering down some base colors so that I can see where I'm going to put everything. Yes, I'm just mapping out all the areas. So when we were little, my dad used to watch Agatha Christie movies with us. So there was Murder on the Orient Express with, what's his name? The actor. It's gone right out of my head. Albert Finney, there you go. As I'm getting older, my memory is not as, it's not what it once was. So it's Albert Finney. And we watched Evil Under the Sun with Peter Ustinov, and The Death on the Nile with Peter Ustinov and David Niven. We used to love watching those, and we saw them, like we would watch them over and over. Like we would record them from the television because back then there was no streaming. And we used to watch them over and over. My brother and I used to come home from school and we used to put them on and watch them. So, and then of course, then they had Poirot on BBC. And so we used to watch that, and we loved those. And then they had, then we got cable television. So we got cable television long after many other countries got cable television. And then they had all these shows and movies on cable television as well. And we used to watch Miss Marple. So the first ones were with Geraldine McEwen. Oh, she was fabulous actress. And then Julia Mackenzie. I'm just thinking I want to put some of the yellow here to keep my highlight. Also his foot over here needs some yellow. Wait, and let's do the ridges over here. That is a fish. I must not color it green. So we used to watch Marple and Poirot. So I'm really excited to see that they are going to do a reboot and make them all from the beginning. Yay, because I love them. I think this is really nice that they're taking classic shows and remaking them for more, newer audiences. But I do hope they do a good job. Sometimes they do reboots, and I'm like, oh no. Why mess with perfection? For example, I did not like the reboot of MacGyver. I was very, very disappointed. I grew up with MacGyver. We loved that show so much. It was so clever. And I felt like the reboot sort of underestimated the audience. That whole thing about describing what he's doing on the screen, like he's got a pocket knife, so it wrote pocket knife on the screen. People are not stupid, and we can see he's got a pocket knife. There's no need to tell us by writing it on the screen. Oh, I got so annoyed, I stopped watching. I was not a fan. And I don't think the actor that they got to play MacGyver was a very good actor. He was definitely not of the caliber of Richard Dean Anderson. Anyway, very disappointed in that remake. I'm trying to think what other remakes I've seen. I think they're making or have made, but I haven't seen it, a remake of Magnum P.I. I haven't seen it. I'm not sure if they made it or not. I will have to ask the assistant She knows these things. She's far more into what's going on in the television world than me. So whenever I have a question about television, I go and I ask her. Karen? I don't think she can hear me. She has her. Karen?
Yeah.
Did they ever make that remake of Magnum?
Of Magna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it good?
The series?
Yes.
Yeah, it went on for a few seasons.
Oh, she says it went on for a few seasons. I will go and check it out.
Magnum PI?
Yes, the remake.
Yes.
It's good?
No.
Oh. Yeah, the assistant can come and tell you all about remakes of television shows.
Because once again, they went down the formula of we have to get the most beautiful people we can to play these parts, and then the script writing is so wooden and formulaic, and then they tried to tie in all the other CBS shows, which all the other NCISs.
Oh.
And then I think even the horrible remake of MacGyver was tied in.
My goodness.
Yes,
I was talking about the horrible remake of MacGyver.
And so it's on that plane. It's on that plane of horrible.
Oh,
so
no.
It tried to also be campy at the same time as trying to be serious, and it failed on all aspects.
Okay, thank you.
And then it also tried to tie in like a romance kind of thing, which was also bad because it was toxic. It's just like everything about it was pretty. Mm-hmm. It was very pretty. Pretty landscape, pretty people, bad script.
Okay. No. Then we will not. I'm trying to think of good remakes. Hawaii Five-0 was a good remake, I think.
No.
No?
No, what's wrong? Come on.
Okay.
Same problem as NCIS.
Okay.
Toxic partnerships, toxic messages, fun bantering. And
Yes, that's why I thought it was pretty good.
yeah, but
The
everything
acting
else,
was pretty good.
But everything else around it was horrible.
Okay.
Scripting was horrible.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so whenever I want to know about a remake of a TV show, as you can tell, I ask the assistant and she lets me know. All right, so now I'm thinking what to do next. Do we want to stop here? Wait, let me just do a bit more mapping out of color on this section.
Go rewatch Leverage.
Oh, yes, Leverage is good.
Because,
I like
there's
Leverage. But that's not a remake of anything.
No, but Leverage continued.
Yes, I will go and watch some of Leverage.
Noah Wiley.
Oh, no, I've got quite a few shows that I can still watch. Okay, I think we're going to, on that note of terrible TV show remakes, we're going to...
Did you talk about Poirot?
I did. That's how we got onto this topic. I'm so excited. I hope they don't mess it up. But it's the BBC, so it should be okay.
Well, apparently White Collar might be coming into
Oh, I didn't like White Collar.
continuing or something.
I wasn't a fan of White Collar. The assistant loved White Collar, but...
To a point, I love White
Yes. Okay, so I think we're going to leave it at this. We have mapped out our colors for the crocodile, and let me just zoom out a bit. Right, so this is what it looks like right now. As you can see, and as I said before, we have mapped out the colors for the crocodile, and we will continue working on this crocodile next week, and perhaps even finish the fish. So thank you everybody for joining me for today's Saturday Snippets. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my rambling about true crime and TV shows. And I hope to see you again next week. Bye for now.